I'm Sarah. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sarah. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on some cleaning, organizing, decluttering, and motherhood videos. If that is something that you're interested in, I would love it if you would stick around, subscribe below, and also give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. So today we are going to be doing the Marie Kondo of my books and papers, and also my daughter's books. We're gonna be doing those as well. And so with the papers and everything, it's gonna include notebooks, index cards, sticky notes, everything. We're gonna be filling it all out, and we're gonna go through it, and we're gonna get rid of anything that does not spark joy. So here's an overview of all of my books. I'm just going to start out by taking them all off of the shelf. And then next, I'm just going to lay out all my books. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through all of my books. So these are mine and my husband's books, and these are all the books from around our house. And then second, I'm gonna move on to my daughter's books. And then third, I'm gonna move on to all of the paper items. The questions I'm gonna ask myself are, one, do they spark joy? Am I actually using them for their intended purpose? So books are meant to be read. And so either for some information or to kind of get your imagination working. And so if we're not using them, then I'm going to pass them on to somebody who will actually be able to benefit from them. Now that I've laid out all my books, I'm going to start by asking myself first if each book brings me joy. So I'm going to ask myself some questions to kind of decide what books to keep and what books to pass on. Have I actually read this book? Have I used it for its intended purpose? And if you're not using a book, you might as well pass it on to someone who can actually read it and actually be able to get something out of it than just having something on your shelf. So if I haven't read the book, I have to be real with myself. Like, am I actually going to read this? Because like in my fantasy world, like yes, it would be super nice to be able to just read books all the time, but honestly, I don't have time for it. I'm way more likely to be able to listen to a book. I would prefer to just pass on anything I'm not reading right now. And if worst comes to worst, if I get rid of something, I might as well just go to a local library. So anyways, I'm just gonna get started. Okay, so first of all, I love this book. Also, my husband loves it. It is his missionary handbook, and it is in Tagalog, so Filipino. He's on a mission there, and he loves this, and super happy. Also, scriptures, yes. So both of these are definitely a keeper. Okay, I used to love this book. This was like my childhood. I loved the Shannon Hill books. So with this book, it does bring me joy, but also on the other hand, I don't actually see myself reading it again, and I have a lot of nieces that could actually read this and enjoy it, and so I'm actually going to pass this one on. How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is such a good book, and I like to refer back to it often, so this is definitely a keeper. I also love Love and Respect. It's a really good marriage book. Love that one. Boundaries is another good one. Definitely like to refer to that often. Star Passage, my father actually wrote this, so definitely need to keep this one. And plus he signed it, so obviously you have to keep it. Next, I have this book. I was buddies with the author's daughter, and so she gave this to me for my birthday, and I have loved this book, and I actually have some of her books on Kindle, and so I can just read them via my phone. And so I'm actually going to pass this one on just because I know that my nieces would love that. Love, good. And my sister actually wrote this one, and I love this one. So if you've never read The Alias by Mandy Slack, guys, it's a good one. Move the rest over here. I definitely want to keep in mind that this is a really good one. And this one, these are more books that they have such good information that I do like to refer back to them definitely multiple times in a year span where it would make more sense for me to be keeping them. 5 Love Languages of Children. I think that love languages are a super big thing, and I do love this book. It'll definitely benefit me. Okay, I'm also gonna pass this one on to my nieces. And okay, this one is also by my mother-in-law, but I bet my nieces are going to love this. So I'm actually going to pass this one on to my niece. So I'd already passed on a couple books to her, and she was super excited. So I definitely think that she'll be super excited about these as well. And so I'm gonna pass these one on. I love these books, and they're super amazing. I just know that they're gonna get a lot more love from someone who actually read them way more often and be able to get the best use out of them. These are the books that I'm keeping, and these are the books that I'm going to be passing on. these are just my husband's workbooks, and so I'm going to be keeping these. So, all right, so now I'm just going to place the books I'm going to pass on into here, and this is where I will put anything I am going to pass along. Okay, next I'm moving on to my daughter's books. So I'm just going to take everything. And this is also where I have a little bit of an Easter stash. So I'm trying to hide it, but it's fine. And okay, that was not supposed to be. I'm just gonna quickly lay these out. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to move on to my daughter's books. I'm gonna do the same thing. Is it something that I enjoy to read to her? Is it something that she enjoys to look at? And any book that I don't seem to reach for, I'm just going to pass on to someone who can actually benefit from these books. So, first of all, this is one of my favorite books, guys. So the authors, Heather Fujikawa and Heidi Andrews, they are so amazing. They did such a great job with this book, and the story is so cute. And they also have a really cute TV show for those who just love like interior design. They actually have a TV show, Design Twins, on Up TV, and they're just the cutest. I love them. Oh my goodness, it's definitely, this will never leave. This is such a cute book. Okay, this one, I love like noisy ones, like at church or somewhere you have to sit for a long time. It's like, ooh, but then it's like, especially when it's like super quiet and it's like, anyways, I think I'm going to pass that one on. This one is, so there's like a love-hate relationship with these pop-up books. If you have like smaller kids, they will kill them. So I'm actually going to pass that one on. I love this book, love it. And I love all of my Dr. Seuss books. I love these. This one, okay, my daughter loves this little puppet. So it's kind of dying, I don't know. Let me clean that out. Okay, I really like these ones as well. I love those ones. Mostly just have hard books, just because it's just a lot easier when you're trying to read for your kids not to just ruin the pages. And then I'm actually going to pass this one on, and I'm actually going to leave this at her grandmother's house so that she has a couple books there. And then, I think this is good too. Guys, Wheels on the Bus. Who doesn't love this one? Okay, so there we go. I got rid of 3 books, and now I'm going to move on to my papers. Okay, moving on, I'm going to move to Marie Kondoing my papers and notebooks and everything. Well, first of all, this is mine and my husband's journals, so I definitely want to keep those. And then I also have my fitness journal, which I want to keep that. I am going to pass on this notebook. So I have quite a bit of paper, so I'm going to pass these ones on. Sticky notes, I'm going to pass those on. And then I want my index card. This envelope is generally where I will keep receipts, so I'm just going to keep that. Moving on. Ooh, look! Notepad. Okay, so I want to use less paper, so I'm going to try and start doing to-do lists on my phone and grocery list. So I'm actually going to pass this on. Okay, this is my planner. I absolutely love it, and I do have some papers in here that I'm going to keep in here. They're just some ideas for YouTube ideas, and so I've gone through this. I've actually pulled out some that I'm just going to recycle. I'm going to keep this. I love having binders. So I have 2 binders for all the papers that we own. I like storing it this way. So in my binder, I generally like to have a folder. This is where I will put things that need to get done, like things for taxes, things that need to be mailed in, anything like that, anything that's pressing, I like to keep it in here. And then I have some sticky notes, keep some paper, and so there is that. Okay, so that's my first binder. Then in my second binder, this bow is the one that was on my baby when she was born, and I like to have a picture. This is the temple that me and my husband were married in. And then inside, I have another folder. This is anything that needs to be filed. So this is where I file everything. I don't really like the accordion filers because I feel like things will kind of sink down to the bottom. You have smaller things. I feel like I can't open them enough to be able to feel like I can properly see things. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I just found that I really like using binders, and I also like using sleeves. So these are just little mementos, so like cards that people gave me that I wanted to keep, and so that's where I'll keep them in. And so I like keeping them in clear sleeves because then when I'm flipping through, I can easily find what I'm looking for. And I like having those sentimental items in a binder like this, because then instead of being like in a box, maybe a little bit harder to look at, whereas with a binder, you can easily just flip through, and it just makes it a lot easier. And so this is where I will essentially file everything. So, and that is it. And then there's also some cute pictures in the back. So generally, if I had anything to get rid of, it actually would have been in here. And in my 30-day declutter, I actually got rid of a ton of papers and recycled and got rid of all of those. So I actually don't have papers to go through. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep these. And there's everything that I was able to get rid of in this declutter and pass on to someone else who can actually benefit from these items. Right, and here is the after. I hope this video was able to give you the motivation that you needed. And if you haven't already, subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.